What's going on, y'all? It's DG back with another video, and today going to be giving y'all a full review on these right here, the brand new Luka 3s. So let's get right into it. This shoe actually surprised me, guys, starting with the traction. So it is a tire inspired pattern. This entire silhouette is inspired off of Luka's love for cars. So you do have a very nice herringbone, tried and true inspired tire traction pattern right here. Although this pattern looks beastly, surprisingly it wasn't top tier. It's still very good, but I did find myself wiping. I'm not sure if it's due to the translucent and the combination of the solid rubber as well. I'm curious to see how it would perform if it was just one type of rubber outsole. But I did find myself for sure wiping. So it's not the most elite traction pattern despite how it looks, but it is still pretty solid. So, you know, you do have to wipe a few times per game, but after you do that, you're pretty much good to go. So traction is pretty solid. It's just not the best. So I was kind of surprised because this traction pattern looks beastly. In terms of the cushion setup, Jordan Brand is using a full-length Cushlon 3.0. And honestly, it's not that big of an improvement from the 2s, I would say. I think these feel pretty similar, although I do still think it is a very marginal improvement. Personally, a fan of Cushlon and all of their iterations pretty much. So this 3.0 does feel nice, but it is still very low to the ground. You do feel it, especially after you break it in. So if you're looking for a shoe with maximum impact protection, then I would not recommend the Luka 3 to you. But if you are a fast guard who, you know, kind of plays like Luka, who has somewhat changes of speed and you need to, you know, be able to switch gears on a dime, then I do think this cushion setup will work for you. It does feel pretty comfortable, especially after you break it in, but then again, I'm a guard, so I'm not like a big guy trying to play in these. You know, at the end of the day, it's still very low to the ground in my opinion. So the cushion setup, I would say, is a marginal small improvement, but it's nothing too crazy to justify, you know, getting, you know, based on the cushion, getting the Luka 3 over the 2, in my opinion. Honestly, I don't think the camera is doing the shoe justice in terms of how dirty this shoe is right now, especially in this white colorway. But honestly, my favorite thing about the shoe is the fit. These materials on this shoe just feel very compression-like, and it is such a big improvement over the 2s. I felt like the 2s fit slightly long, just a tad bit long. And honestly, like the ISO plate on the side of the 2s, or just the ISO plate in general, just the entire build of the shoe of the 2s, you know, I felt like pinching on the side a little bit. It had a lot of plastic. This is much more streamlined in design and in terms of the fit as well. So the fit is true to size. Even if you're a wide footer, I think these materials are accommodating for sure, because I am a wide footer. It even has, you know, on the medial side, some neoprene material. You guys see kind of that oval shape right there. So it does relieve some pressure in that area. So I absolutely love the fit in these, and why I had such a great time playing in these. It's really a big reason why. Again, it's nothing too premium in terms of the materials, but the materials get the job done, and it really does aid into the true to size fit. So definitely go true to size if you're a wide footer or a narrow footer. I think this shoe does a really good job in terms of the fit. In terms of the weight of the Luka 3, these feel pretty lightweight in my opinion. They are confirmed to be lighter than the Luka 2 for sure. That is confirmed by Jordan Brand. So in terms of just like playing in these and feeling them and, you know, actually running in them, like they do feel pretty lightweight in my opinion, especially due to these, you know, materials on the upper. They're not premium at all, but with the true to size fit, solid traction, very low to the ground cushion, somewhat comfortable after you break it in. Like, this is a very solid shoe, and the weight plays a big part in that. It's not as light as the Kobe 8, obviously, but in terms of just like a lot of shoes that I played in, like these feel pretty seamless. Support is also really good in this shoe. You have a very wide base. The heel counter is also pretty tough. It's pretty hard. So you're not really going to be rolling an ankle in these, I don't think, unless you step on someone's foot. So support is very good in the Luka line, you know, the 1s, the 2s, the 3s. This incorporation of the ISO plate, which is pretty signature to Luka's shoes, is also very good for lateral support. It also has, you know, part of the ISO plate at the toe for those step backs, you know, those signature moves that Luka does. So I really do like the support in these. I felt pretty secure as well, especially with the 1-to-1 fit. And, you know, the materials are pretty soft on the inside, I would say. Like that, it's very enjoyable to play in terms of just like the materials, There's no BS. The lacing system and the lockdown is good. Moving on to that category, like I felt locked in. You know, the heel counter, like I said, is pretty tough. So this is a pretty solid shoe all around. There's just not a particular area where it necessarily beats a lot of other shoes, if that makes sense. With that said, this is by far my favorite Luka shoe. This beats the ones for sure because the Cushlon 3.0 full length, although it's still very thin, I felt like it's much better than the ones because the ones basically had no cushion in my opinion, especially in the forefoot. The twos I felt like were definitely better than the ones, but they were more cumbersome, you know, like the ones were more seamless. The twos had like a lot of, you know, plastic and different materials on the side. It actually pinched my foot a little bit. Materials are, you know, they're not premium, but they're better in terms of just playing performance-wise, right? If we're talking about performance, I like these materials better. It's softer. The fit is better than the Luka 2 in my personal opinion. And overall, the traction, you do have to wipe, but it is still pretty solid, okay? And the cushion is low to the ground. It's Cushlon 3.0, which I personally like. I like a lot of Cushlon in different basketball shoes, right? I just like Cushlon. So overall, this is my favorite Luka in the entire line by far. It's not even a debate for me personally. And honestly, the people that will like these are guards for sure and mobile big men, okay? Like this is a guard shoe for sure because the cushion is pretty low to the ground. And honestly, you do need to break it in just a little bit to feel that Cushlon. You guys can see all of the compression marks on the midsole, on the medial side right here. So you do need to spend some time playing in this shoe. But after you do, if you're a guard and you move fast, you like a little bit of traction, you like a little bit of cushion, like this shoe is gonna serve you well. And overall, the fit is really nice. That's my favorite part about the shoe. And honestly, the materials are also one of my favorite parts about the shoe because performance-wise, they get the job done. And as a wide footer, I really appreciated how soft these materials are. And because of that ISO plate here, I never felt like a compromise in support. The only thing I would say is that you do have to wipe this traction setup. You guys see a lot of dust here. I would love to see a colorway that only use solid rubber or translucent rubber. I don't like it when they use different types of rubber compounds. I know it's to show the Cushlon 3.0 and the tech in this shoe, but also like it's kind of weird for me, at least. It's just personal preference. Solid shoe, but truthfully speaking, genuinely, it doesn't excel in a particular area. Maybe support, maybe the fit, but there are a lot of shoes that have good support. There's a lot of shoes that have good fits. But if you're like looking for a solid shoe that's the best in the Luka line, if you're a fan of Luka, if you need like a good shoe, a comfortable shoe to play in, like this is a great option. I like the fit better in these than the KD17. I like just overall the containment in these over the Zoom Freak 5, for example. I would say the GT Cut 3, I think objectively is still a better shoe than these, and deservingly so because the GT Cut 3 is, you know, with tax $200. LeBron 21, I feel like these play a little bit lighter, but the LeBron 21 is a $200 shoe retail and they have more cushion. But overall, guys, this is a great shoe in my opinion. Like it's a solid shoe to play in. I feel like it has more cushion than the Kobe 8, honestly, because the Kobe 8 is very low to the ground, even with that React midsole. I feel like the Kobe 8 has more, you know, grip for sure. Like the Kobe 8 traction is crazy. But honestly, guys, I like the fit better in these than the Kobe 4 Pro Tro, for example. And I know Kobe's fit tight and stuff like that, but overall, this is a solid shoe. It may not excel in a particular area, but in the right colorway, I think people will really enjoy these, especially if you're just like a hybrid type of player that does a little bit of everything, you know? I feel like a lot of people may agree with me here that this is a solid shoe. It may not excel in a particular area, but they're still enjoyable to play in just because they're soft, has good support, solid traction, cushion is pretty low to the ground, and honestly, they're great for shooters because there's, you know, that court feel is there. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, especially if you made it this far. Follow me on all socials at DG Hoops, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.